Dr. Kethavar looked at his scanner with confusion. The small blue device was making strange beeping sounds as he studied the humans from Earth. His 4 purple arms moved quickly over the controls, trying to fix what he thought was broken equipment. "This cannot be right," he said to his helper, a thin alien named Veltara. Her big silver eyes looked worried as she watched the numbers on their screen. The research ship, Zenith's Edge, had been floating near Earth for many weeks now. The Galactic Council wanted to learn about these new creatures called humans, before inviting them to join their peaceful group of planets. Dr. Kethavar was the best scientist they had for studying new species. "Look at these readings," Veltara said, pointing at the glowing display. "The human test subjects show heart rates that jump from 70 to over 200 in seconds. Their muscles can suddenly become 3 times stronger. And look at this chemical called adrenaline. It floods their body in amounts that should kill them." Dr. Kethavar shook his head. He had studied over 50 different alien species in his long career. Nothing like this had ever appeared on his scanners before. "The machine is clearly broken," he decided. "No living creature could survive such extreme changes in their body. It would be like a star suddenly burning 10 times brighter. Impossible." The humans who had volunteered for testing seemed normal enough. They were friendly, curious, and eager to learn about other species in the galaxy. They brought gifts of music and art. They asked polite questions about alien cultures. They seemed no different from any other peaceful species the Council had met. Dr. Kethavar watched through the observation window as a human named Li Jinwu played a simple game with some young alien visitors. The man was laughing and gentle, showing no signs of the biological impossibilities the scanner claimed he possessed. "Perhaps their folklore is influencing our readings somehow," suggested Veltara. "The humans tell many stories about their ancestors, having great strength and speed during times of danger. Maybe these are just cultural myths that our equipment is somehow detecting." This made sense to Dr. Kethavar. Many species had legends about their heroic past. The Zephyrians claimed their ancestors could fly without wings. The crystalline people said their elders could see through solid rock. All nonsense, of course, but important to their cultural identity. "Yes, that must be it," he agreed. "The humans are simply sharing their mythology with us, and somehow our sensitive equipment is picking up on these cultural stories instead of real biological data." He began typing his official report to the Galactic Council. His fingers moved quickly over the holographic keyboard as he wrote his conclusions. "Human species appears standard for carbon-based life forms," he dictated. "Average height 1.7 meters, average weight 70 kilograms, intelligence level suitable for council membership, physical capabilities within normal range for bipedal mammals." He paused, looking again at the impossible scanner readings. The numbers still showed humans capable of lifting objects many times, their own weight, running at speeds that should tear their muscles apart and surviving chemical changes that would kill most known species. "Equipment malfunction has produced false readings suggesting extreme physical capabilities," he continued typing. "These readings coincide with human cultural stories about enhanced strength and speed during emergency situations. Recommend dismissing these as mythological rather than biological phenomena." Veltara watched him work. "Are you certain we should ignore the data completely? Even if the numbers are wrong, perhaps there is something unusual about human physiology that we should study further." Dr. Kethavar waved away her concerns with 2 of his arms. "My dear assistant, I have been studying alien biology for over 30 years. If there is one thing I have learned, it is that when the data seems impossible, it usually is. No doubt our equipment needs calibration after the long journey to this system." He submitted his report with confidence. The document would be read by the Council's top leaders, who would use it to decide how to approach humanity. His assessment would determine whether humans were seen as potential allies, threats, or something in between. "Recommend immediate invitation to join Galactic Council," he concluded. "Humans appear to be peaceful, intelligent, and biologically unremarkable. They would make excellent additions to our Confederation." As the report was sent across the galaxy to the Council headquarters, Dr. Kethavar felt satisfied with his work. He had done his job properly, dismissing obvious equipment errors and focusing on the real evidence that humans were just another friendly species wanting to join the galactic community. Through the observation window, he watched Li Jinwu teaching a group of alien children how to play a simple Earth game. The human moved slowly and carefully, making sure not to accidentally hurt the smaller alien youngsters. A perfectly normal, harmless species, Dr. Kethver said to himself. He had no idea that his report would later be remembered as the most dangerously wrong scientific assessment in galactic history. The truth about human adrenaline and what it could do was still waiting to be discovered. And when that discovery came, it would terrify every species in the known galaxy. 6 months after Dr. Kethver sent his report, a golden message arrived at Earth's United Nations building. The holographic invitation floated above the assembly hall, written in dozens of languages including perfect Korean and English. The Galactic Council welcomes humanity to join our peaceful confederation of worlds, the message said in a warm, musical voice. Please send representatives to Harmony Prime Station for integration discussions. Ambassador Lee Min-ho was chosen to lead Earth's first diplomatic team. He was a calm, smart man who spoke many languages and had spent years helping different countries work together peacefully. With him came 3 other Koreans, Park So-min, an engineer who understood how machines worked, Kim Tae-won, a security expert who used to be a soldier, and Dr. Jin Hee-young, a scientist who studied alien life forms. The journey to Harmony Prime took 2 weeks on a council transport ship. When they arrived, Min-ho could barely believe his eyes. The space station was huge, bigger than any city on Earth. It stretched in all directions like a metal planet, with lights twinkling from thousands of windows. "Welcome, humans," said Council Speaker Zethian as they stepped off their ship. She looked like a tall, thin person made of clear glass with light moving inside her body like slow lightning. "We are excited to learn about your species." The humans were given a tour of the station. They saw aliens of every shape and size, some with many arms, others that floated in the air, and creatures that looked like walking trees or living rocks. All of them seemed friendly and curious about the new human visitors. "Your species has a good reputation," explained their guide, a lizard-like alien named Mordak. His green scales sparkled as he walked. "Dr. Kethvar's report says you are peaceful and normal, just like most council members." During the tour, they stopped at a busy cargo area where alien workers were moving supplies. The place was full of noise and activity, with floating containers and mechanical arms carrying boxes everywhere. Suddenly, there was a loud crash. A huge metal container had fallen from its anti-gravity lift and was now blocking the main pathway. The container was as big as a small house and made of thick steel. "Oh no," said the dock supervisor, a worried-looking alien with 6 arms. "The lifting machine is broken. This container weighs over 400 units. We will need to call for heavy machinery to move it." Other workers gathered around looking at the problem. Some tried pushing the container, but it would not move even a little bit. The supervisor started calling for help on his communication. Device Tae-won, who had been quietly watching, walked over to the fallen container. The other humans followed, curious about what he was planning. "Excuse me," Tae-won said politely to the aliens. "May I try something?" The aliens looked confused but stepped back to give him room. Tae-won bent down next to the massive container, placed his hands underneath one edge, and took a deep breath. "Be careful," So-min warned. "That thing looks really heavy." Tae-won positioned his feet properly, kept his back straight, and lifted. The enormous container rose into the air as if it weighed nothing. He carried it over to the transport platform and set it down gently in the correct position. The cargo bay became completely silent. Every alien worker stopped what they were doing and stared at the human, who had just lifted something that should have required a machine. How did you do that?" whispered Mordak. His green scales had turned pale white with shock. "That container masses over 400 weight units. Even our strongest species cannot lift half that amount." Tae-won looked surprised by their reaction. "It was not too difficult. I exercise regularly back on Earth. Basic deadlift technique. You bend your knees, Keep your back straight and use your leg muscles. Dr. Jin smiled and added, most humans can lift heavy things when they need to. Taiwan is strong but not unusually strong for our species. The aliens exchanged nervous looks. Some were taking readings with small scanning devices, their faces showing confusion and worry. But this is impossible, said the dock supervisor, his 6 arms shaking. Our scientists measured human strength during first contact. You were supposed to be normal. Minho tried to calm everyone down. We are normal. Humans on Earth lift heavy objects all the time. We build houses, move furniture, carry supplies. This is just everyday activity for us. So Min nodded. In my job as an engineer, I often have to move heavy equipment. Most humans can do similar things. The aliens continued staring at them like they were dangerous monsters instead of friendly diplomats. Some workers had started backing away slowly. Mordak contacted the station security office. This is Cargo Bay 7, he said into his communicator. We need to revise some information about human capabilities. As they continued their tour, word spread quickly throughout the station. Humans were not as normal as the scientists had thought. The 4 Korean diplomats walked through the corridors, smiling and greeting other aliens politely, not understanding why everyone was looking at them with fear and amazement. They had no idea that they had just shattered everything. The Galactic Council believed about their species, and this was only the beginning. 3 weeks later, Ambassador Minho and his team were traveling on a passenger transport ship called Peaceful Journey. They were going to visit another council world to meet more alien species and learn about galactic trade. The ship was full of alien families and workers. Children from different planets played together in the common areas, while their parents talked about business and politics. It seemed like a normal, safe trip through well-protected space. Dr. Jin was in the observation deck, looking at the stars and taking notes about different alien behaviors. Somin was in the engine room, helping the ship's engineers fix a small problem with the power systems. Taiwan stayed near Minho, quietly watching for any potential dangers as he always did. This is very peaceful, Minho said to a friendly Altarian family sitting nearby. The blue-skinned aliens had large, gentle eyes and spoke in soft musical voices. Their 2 young children were drawing pictures of their home planet. Suddenly, the ship shook violently. Emergency lights began flashing red, and a loud alarm started blaring throughout all the corridors. This is Captain Morvek, came an urgent voice over the speakers. We are under attack by unknown vessels. All passengers must go to emergency shelters immediately. This is not a drill. Through the large windows, everyone could see 3 black ships approaching fast. They were sleek and dangerous looking, with glowing red symbols painted on their hulls. Void Reapers, screamed a Centaurian passenger, his forearms shaking with terror. The most dangerous pirates in the galaxy. Panic spread through the ship like fire. Aliens of all shapes and sizes began running toward the emergency shelters, pushing and shouting in fear. Parents grabbed their children. Workers abandoned their posts. Even the ship's security guards looked scared. The human delegation found themselves caught in the middle of the chaos. Hundreds of frightened aliens rushed past them, trying to reach the safe areas deep inside the ship. Stay together, Minho told his team calmly. Follow the evacuation procedures. But as they moved through the corridors, they heard terrible sounds, metal being torn apart, explosions, and the hiss of air escaping through holes in the ship's hull. The pirates were cutting their way inside. The first group of Void Reapers appeared around a corner. They were tall, muscular aliens wearing black armor and carrying energy weapons that glowed with deadly light. Their faces were hidden behind dark masks, but their movements showed they were experienced killers. The pirates saw a group of young Altarian civilians, the same family Minho had been talking to earlier. The blue-skinned parents tried to protect their children, but they were small and weak compared to the armed invaders. Please, begged the Altarian father, his large eyes filled with tears. Do not hurt our younglings. Take whatever you want, but leave the children alone. The lead pirate laughed cruelly and pointed his weapon at the family. You will all come with us. The council will pay good money to get you back. Taewon stepped forward. "Leave them alone." The pirates looked at the human with surprise. They had never seen his species before. To them, he looked small and harmless, just another weak alien trying to play hero. "Stay back, little creature," the pirate leader said, "or you will join them as our prisoner." That was when they heard Dr. Jin scream from somewhere deeper in the ship. The sound cut through Minho like a knife. Around the corner, more pirates had grabbed their team member and were dragging her toward their boarding craft. The small Korean woman was fighting against captors twice her size, but she could not break free. Something changed in the humans at that moment. Their faces became hard and cold. Their muscles tensed. Their breathing became deeper and faster. The Altarian family felt it first. A strange feeling in the air, like the moment before lightning strikes. Other aliens nearby stopped running and looked back at the four humans with confusion. "No," said Somin quietly. Her voice was different now, deeper and more dangerous than any alien on the ship had ever heard from a human. The pirates were still laughing and pointing their weapons, not understanding what was happening. They thought they were dealing with another weak species that would run away or surrender. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Taewon's heart rate jumped from 70 to over 200 beats per minute. Chemicals flooded his bloodstream, the same chemicals that Dr. Kethavar had dismissed as impossible myths. His muscles became 3 times stronger. His reflexes became lightning fast. His mind became focused on only one thing: protecting innocent people. So-min felt the same changes happening to her body. The gentle engineer who had been fixing the ship's engines moments before was transforming into something the galaxy had never seen. Minho, the calm diplomat who preferred peaceful solutions, felt ancient instincts awakening in his blood. For millions of years, his ancestors had been hunters and protectors on a dangerous world called Earth. The pirates were still threatening the Altarian family when the humans stopped retreating. Instead, they began to advance. What happened next would be remembered by every survivor as the moment they learned that humans were not the harmless species the Council thought they were. Taewon moved first. 1 second he was standing with the other passengers, and the next second he was beside the pirate leader. The alien never saw him coming. The human's fist hit the pirate's armored chest with a sound like thunder. The 7-foot-tall alien warrior flew backward through the air and crashed into the metal wall so hard that he left a dent in the thick steel. The other pirates stared in shock. Their leader was one of the strongest fighters in their crew, and this small human had just sent him flying like a toy. "Impossible," whispered one of the pirates. "Nothing that small can hit that hard." So-min was already moving toward the Altarian family. 2 pirates tried to block her path, raising their energy weapons. She grabbed a piece of broken wall panel, a sheet of reinforced metal designed to protect against explosions, and tore it free from its bolts. The metal panel was over 6 feet wide and weighed as much as a small vehicle. So-min lifted it with one hand and used it as a shield as she walked toward the pirates. Their energy weapons fired bright beams that bounced harmlessly off the metal. "How is she holding that?" one pirate screamed. "It should take 3 of us to carry something that heavy." Minho heard Dr. Jin scream again from deeper in the ship. The sound made something primal wake up in his mind. He was no longer a diplomat trying to solve problems with words. He was a protector, and someone was hurting his teammate. He ran toward the sound, moving faster than any alien on the ship had ever seen a creature move. His speed was impossible, like watching lightning run down a hallway. More pirates appeared from side corridors trying to surround him. Minho dodged their weapon fire by moving in ways that seemed to break the laws of physics. He twisted and spun through the air, his body bending and flowing like water. When he reached the pirates holding Dr. Jin, there were 6 of them. All were armed and trained killers. Minho attacked them with his bare hands. The aliens watching from the emergency shelters could not believe what they saw. The gentle human diplomat was fighting like a natural-born warrior. His movements were smooth and deadly. Every punch and kick landed exactly where it would do the most damage. Back in the main corridor, Taewon was dealing with more pirates who had come to help their fallen leader. One of them swung a metal club at his head. Taewon caught the weapon in his hand and crushed it like paper. Then he grabbed the pirate by his armor and threw him down the hallway. The pirate flew through the air for over 30 feet before hitting the ground. He did not get up. So-min reached the Altarian family and knelt beside them. "Are you hurt?" she asked gently. Her voice was kind and caring, completely different from the terrifying force she had just displayed. We are fine," stammered the father. "But how did you do those things? You moved that metal like it was made of air." "Adrenaline," So-min explained simply. "Our bodies make us stronger when people are in danger." Around them, the battle continued. More pirates kept coming, but they could not understand what they were fighting. These humans moved too fast, hit too hard, and seemed impossible to hurt. One pirate shot Taewon directly in the chest with an energy weapon. The beam should have killed him instantly. Instead, Taewon looked down at the burn mark on his shirt and seemed annoyed. "That hurt," he said calmly. Then he picked up a piece of broken ceiling that weighed over 1,000 pounds and threw it at the pirate like a ball. Dr. Jin appeared around the corner, walking calmly with Minho. She looked completely fine, while behind them lay 6 unconscious pirates. "Are you okay?" So-min called to her. "Yes, I am fine," Dr. Jin replied. "Minho rescued me very quickly." The surviving pirates were backing away in terror. Their leader, the one Taewon had punched, was finally getting back to his feet. His armor was cracked and he was bleeding from several wounds. What are you?" he gasped. "We are humans," Minho said politely. "We come from Earth. We are normally very peaceful people." "This is peaceful?" the pirate leader asked in horror. "We do not like to fight," Taewon explained. "But when bad people try to hurt innocent families, we will stop them." The pirates ran back to their ships and flew away as fast as they could. As they escaped, their leader sent an emergency message to all criminal organizations in the galaxy. "Warning to all crews," he broadcast. "Avoid humans at all costs. They look small and weak, but they are demons in disguise. They can lift mountains and move like ghosts. Do not engage. Repeat, do not engage." The human team helped the injured passengers and began repairing the ship. They worked together calmly and efficiently, as if nothing unusual had happened. The alien passengers watched them in amazement and fear. These gentle, polite beings had just done things that should have been impossible. As word spread throughout the galaxy about what had happened on the peaceful journey, every species began asking the same question. If humans could do this, what else were they capable of? The myth of human weakness was dead. The truth was far more terrifying. The emergency medical bay on Harmony Prime was crowded with doctors from many different alien species. They all wanted to see the impossible readings coming from their scanners as they examined the 4 humans. "Doctor." Kethavar stood in the center of the room, his purple face pale with shock. His hands shook as he held the scanning device that had started this whole mystery months ago. The numbers on the screen were even more incredible than before. "This cannot be real," he whispered for the 100th time. "No species can survive these biological changes." The human team sat quietly on examination tables, looking completely normal again. Their heart rates had returned to regular speeds. Their muscle tension was back to baseline levels. The dangerous chemicals in their blood were fading away. Minho smiled at the worried doctors around him. "We feel fine now. The adrenaline effect only lasts a short time." "Adrenaline effect?" asked Dr. Veltara, Dr. Kethavar's assistant. Her silver eyes were wide with fear. "You mean all humans can do what we witnessed?" "Of course," said Dr. Jin cheerfully. "Every human has adrenaline. It helps us when we are in danger. Children learn about it in school." Council Speaker Zethian entered the medical bay, her glass-like body flickering with nervous energy. Behind her came representatives from dozens of alien species, all wanting to hear the truth about humanity. "Please explain this to us simply," she said to the humans. "What exactly happened during the pirate attack?" So-min answered in her gentle voice. "When we saw innocent people in danger, our bodies released adrenaline. It is a natural chemical that makes us stronger and faster for a short time. All humans have this ability." "How much stronger?" asked a Centaurian doctor, his forearms trembling as he held his scanner. Taiwan thought about this. Maybe 3 or 4 times our normal strength, sometimes more if the situation is very serious. The aliens in the room began talking in frightened whispers. 3 or 4 times stronger meant humans could lift objects weighing several tons. It meant they could run faster than most vehicles. It meant they could fight multiple armed enemies and win. "But you seem so peaceful," said Mordak, the lizard guide who had shown them around the station. "You are kind and gentle. You brought us gifts of music and art." "We are peaceful," Minho assured him. "We only use our strength to protect others. We prefer to solve problems with words and cooperation." Dr. Kethavar finally found his voice. I made a terrible mistake in my report. I said your physical capabilities were myths. I dismissed the scanner readings as equipment errors." "The equipment was working correctly," Dr. Jin told him kindly. "You just had never seen a species like ours before." "Are there other abilities we do not know about?" asked Council Speaker Zethian nervously. The humans looked at each other and smiled. "Well," said Somin, "adrenaline is just one of our survival systems. We also have very good healing abilities, strong immune systems, and excellent problem-solving skills under pressure." "What does that mean exactly?" whispered Dr. Veltara. "Human bones can heal from breaks in weeks instead of months," Dr. Jin explained. "We can survive diseases that would kill most species, and we get smarter and more creative when facing difficult challenges." The room fell silent as the aliens processed this information. They had invited what they thought was a normal, harmless species to join their peaceful confederation. Instead, they had welcomed the galaxy's most dangerous predators. "There's something else you should know," Minho said gently. "Earth is what you would call a death world. Most planets that support life are much safer than ours." "Death world?" asked Dr. Kethvar weakly. "Our planet has extreme weather, dangerous animals, deadly diseases, and frequent natural disasters," Taiwan explained. "Humans evolved to survive in very harsh conditions." "How harsh?" asked the council speaker. Somin smiled. "Well, we have storms that can destroy entire cities, earthquakes that split the ground open, and animals that hunt humans for food. Our ancestors had to become very tough to survive." The aliens were now looking at the humans like they were monsters wearing friendly masks. Some had started moving toward the exits. Minho noticed their fear and felt sad. "Please do not be afraid of us. We came here because we want to be friends. We want to learn from you and share our knowledge peacefully. But if you are so dangerous," asked Mordak, "why do you want peace?" "Because we have learned that fighting causes pain and sadness," Dr. Jin answered. "We are strong enough to take what we want by force, but we choose not to. We prefer to work together and help each other." Council Speaker Zethian was quiet for a long time, thinking about this new information. Finally, she spoke. "So you are telling us that humans are incredibly powerful warriors from a death world, but you choose to be peaceful diplomats instead?" "Yes," said all 4 humans together. "And you will only use your abilities to protect innocent people?" "That is correct," Minho confirmed. The council speaker looked around the room at all the frightened alien representatives. Then she looked back at the humans, who were smiling kindly and waiting patiently for her decision. "In that case," she said slowly, "I think humanity will make excellent members of our confederation. The galaxy needs protectors who choose peace over violence." Not everyone in the room agreed with her decision, but they all understood one thing: humans were not to be underestimated ever again.